An unfortunate series of events have taken place between me and a box of hair dye. I was trying to go back to like my natural like dark brown color. However, we ended up with more of a tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Like that situation. It's giving more Black Parade than anything else. Mistakes were made and lessons were not learned because I ordered a product that's supposed to like strip the hair dye out of my hair from Amazon. So we will see how that goes. But afterwards, I am definitely going to be committed to entering a regrowth and recover era, which is kind of a good theme in more ways than just hair, you know? Because I have been faced with a lot of difficult things lately. As you all know, I have started talking to my dad again after about like 7 years of not. And my dad does not live in this town. So I was thinking that, you know, it'd be fine. I would only have to see him about like twice a year, which is manageable. Like I have the capacity for that and really that only, you know, at this point. But the only other relatives on my dad's side that live in town were his sister and my 97-year-old grandma. He came down to visit and things just kind of like escalated very quickly. So a little bit of information that's pertinent to the story. My dad can no longer drive. My 97-year-old grandma, of course, cannot drive. The only one that was able to drive of 3 of them was my aunt. And they called me one afternoon because my aunt was feeling like really ill. So I took them to the emergency room. This led to a stage 4 cancer diagnosis and things just happened very rapidly. Like a couple times a week I was driving them to the hospital to receive like treatments and stuff. And then eventually every day to a hospice. And this was going on like the back half of September, all of October, and then a few days into November when she passed. You know, and this was, of course, just like a very sad situation because, you know, like end of life stuff always is. Doesn't really matter how close you were to somebody, which, you know, I wasn't very close to that side of the family, but I was glad that I was there and able to help them and get to where they needed to go, take care of what they needed to take care of. But I was also kind of just going through a lot of emotions. Not only because, you know, death is hard, but having to spend so much time with my father. He's kind of like a hard person for me to be around. And like in that situation, like when he would say things that weren't true, like there wasn't really an opportunity to like correct him or have like any kind of conversation to like let him know like certain things he was saying was not okay because like literally his sister on her deathbed. So I don't know, just been spending a lot of time with my dad, which wasn't necessarily the plan when I like, you know, decided to start talking to him again. Anyways, now my dad lives in town to take care of my 97-year-old grandma, and neither of them can drive, so I have been taking them to the grocery store and to do whatever errands they have to do. So I am just seeing him in a larger capacity than what I initially thought that I would be seeing him in. But yeah, so that kind of has just been making me more emotionally drained, like just that whole situation. And I guess I'm just telling you this to kind of retroactively explain why I have been so absent. Other than, of course, like videos that I was contractually obligated to put out, to film, whatever. But I will tell you that in the beginning of November, I don't know if it was because of the many hours that I spent at a hospice or what, but it just kind of like lit a fire. Sorry, I cannot talk while I'm doing eyeliner. It's just not a possibility. But yeah, I've been pretty on it health-wise for the past 2 going on 3 weeks, and I have lost 6 pounds, which is the amount that I gained when I went to Arkansas. So, you know, we're flush. We are back on track. which by the way, it is BS that I gained that amount in 5 days, but it took 2 weeks to lose it. The first thing I focused on was diet, where I'm going more of a low carb route, not keto or anything, like not too low of carbs, but just more like replacing bread and grains in some dishes. Like, you know, I'll have stuff on salad or spaghetti squash instead of rice or noodles. I've really been loving like bell peppers in place of bread for sandwiches. Honestly, it is slapping, as my mom would say. And speaking of Wellmo, last week we signed up for a gym, which we've both been going to. It's been like just too cold for her to go walking in the mornings, so we decided that we had to like start doing something. My garage gym's also too cold for her, like even with the heater on. And lately it has been cold as hell. Like we got like this huge snowstorm a week ago. But it's kind of good because my mom is like trying more things than just walking. She's, you know, getting on the weight machine, lifting some weights a little bit. We have the option of like doing stuff in the swimming pool now or whatever else. So there's options to like keep it interesting and also expand and grow. I went and I tried out a new yoga studio. I went to like a gentle yoga class. That was pretty cool, and I might start going there more regularly. I don't know, like you could just like do yoga at home, but I feel like I get a lot of like benefit from like doing it in a group of people. It's like a bit like more emotionally healing, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's like energy of like the other people or whatever, but there's just like a big difference between like doing yoga on your own or in a group. I have been using this as like lip stuff since I discovered it. It just adds like a bit of a tint, and then I go over it with lip balm to kind of blend it in. I don't know if that's healthy, if that's safe, but it feels like it's fine. Speaking of like more emotional relief and like relaxation and, you know, figuring your life out in therapy, I am starting to work on how to set boundaries properly, especially when it comes to like my dad, which is great because I feel like, is that a spider? No, that is a hair. I don't know. I just think the boundary thing is something that probably has been a long time coming as far as like things I need to work on, because it's pretty hard for me to like tell people no or like not get like roped into doing things that I don't want to do. Just being able to help without completely like being at someone's like beck and call. Like the situation with my aunt was a different situation obviously, but like now it's, you know, maybe just like setting a day where I take him to go run errands and stuff rather than whenever he calls. But yeah, so things are on the verge of coming together. Now if I could just only find a way to be more consistent on YouTube. And also actually remember to switch my laundry from the washer to the dryer so I didn't have to rewash it several times. That would be awesome. And if you have any tips on how to make your hair less crispy, that would be great because I am going to need them. It is so damaged at this point. And it's about to be a little bit more damaged because I'm going to do that thing that strips the dye out. So leave your hair advice below, and I just want to say thank you for watching. I will see you very soon on the next one. Bye!